You think you're too late to make your creative work matter, that you missed your shot. But what if being too late is actually your unfair advantage? So there's this story that we all tell ourselves that creative success has an expiration date. That if you didn't make it by the time you were 30 or start early enough, or if you don't live in the right city at the right time in the right place, then you have missed your shot. All the success stories seem to have started young. Everyone else seems to be further ahead. And that voice in your head keeps whispering, too late. And here's the worst part. Part of you has started to believe it. You start wondering if you're being realistic or if you should just give up. And that in between place between hope and resignation is what keeps you stuck. It's that uncertainty, because that uncertainty is paralyzing. So let me tell you, that story isn't random, and it's actually not really about your age. It comes from a world that was built for a very specific kind of person. Someone who can just pick up and move to LA or New York or London in their early 20s. Someone who can work for free or cheap for years. Someone with no obligations, no family, infinite time and energy. Someone who is willing to wait around until someone else decides that they're ready. The world does favor youth. Not because young people are better, sorry, young people, but because they can afford to play the long game. And here's what nobody tells you. That world is breaking down. It doesn't work the way it used to, even for the 25-year-olds. The real problem, it's not your age. It's access. Access to the rooms where decisions happen. Access to the people who can move things forward. Access. Did I mention access? Access? Look, you are not stuck because you're too old. You're stuck because the old way requires you to live where the gatekeepers are. Wait for someone else to notice you and hope you get picked. If you didn't start with proximity or connections or the freedom to wait indefinitely, you're locked out. So the question isn't, am I too late for the old system? The question is, what if there's a completely different way to do this? One that's better suited to where you are right now. So let's talk about what you do have now that you didn't have when you were 25. First of all, you know what you want. At 25, you were probably chasing vague dreams. I know I was. But now that you know exactly what lights you up and what doesn't, you're not so easily distracted by shiny objects or other people's definitions of success. That clarity is power. You have real life to pull from. Your work, no matter what that work is, has depth now. You understand people, conflicts, complexity. You're not performing a version of life. You've lived it. And that makes everything you create richer. You're not desperate. You have a life. Maybe you even have a family, some stability. You're not saying yes to everything just to feel like you're doing something. You can be selective about what you build and who you decide to work with. And that changes how people see you. You've built real skills beyond the creative ones. You know how to show up. You know how to communicate like an adult. You know how to read rooms, build relationships, follow through. Hey, look, these aren't sexy skills, but they are the ones that actually get things done. You've got something to lose, and that's good. You're not going to torpedo your life for a long shot. You're strategic, intentional, thoughtful. You're building something sustainable, not chasing a fantasy. That maturity is what makes people take you seriously. Yeah, sure, 25-year-olds are hungry, but you're not just hungry anymore. You are ready, and that's a completely different kind of power. Let me give you an example. Take Kelly Moss. She's one of my clients who, when she came to me, she was brand new to the Netherlands, having just moved from the San Francisco Bay Area, where she had been honing her stand-up comedy skills for quite some time. The problem was she wasn't all that thrilled with the comedy scene in San Francisco. It was late nights in bars, cigarettes, alcohol, a lot of bros talking about things that she had no interest in. What Kelly really wanted was a space for herself and other women to explore their stand-up skills, minus the misogyny and the late nights. So we built it. She didn't spend years trying to break into the local scene. She didn't wait for someone to give her stage time or accept her. She created her own space, exactly what she needed. And she started curating comedy workshops and events in English for women in the Netherlands. And now she's not waiting for permission. Well, she never really was waiting for permission. She is building her own stage. She's creating the community she needs. And she's putting herself right in the center of it. Kelly basically stopped auditioning to belong, and she started building it. She did it from the Netherlands. And if she did it from the Netherlands, you can do this from wherever you are. If you are feeling this right now, you are not alone. There are thousands of creatives exactly like you, talented, trained, ready, who have been playing the wrong game. So no, you are not too late. But here's what is true. You don't have forever. If you keep waiting for the right moment, the right opportunity, or for someone to finally see you, you will run out of time. Not because you're too old, but because waiting is a trap. That's how dreams die, quietly, by deferral. The clock isn't counting you out. It's counting down how much longer you're willing to stand on the sidelines of your own life. The urgency isn't, I'm too old. The urgency is, I'm done waiting for permission that I'm never going to get. In other words, give yourself permission. So I want to ask you a question. What if you're not behind? What if you're right on time? What if the reason it didn't happen at 25 is because you weren't ready yet? You didn't know what you wanted. You didn't have the life experience to back up your work. You didn't have the confidence to walk into a room like you belong there. What if all those years you called wasted were you loading the cannon? What if midlife isn't that window slamming shut? It's the moment when you finally have everything you need to do this your way. You are not too late. You are exactly on time. And the proof starts when you stop waiting. This definitely is not about following your dreams. This is about taking a good hard look about who you are, where you are, what you have to offer, and how bad you want it. And then I want you to realize that you are in a much better position than you think you are. The game you thought you were too late for, the good news is you're not playing that game anymore. There's another way. And it's built for someone exactly like you. So if this video resonated with you and you are ready to stop waiting and start actually going after what you deserve, what you have been wanting your entire life, then drop access into the comments below, because that is the only thing standing between you and what you want. So if you got some value out of this video, do me a solid and hit like and subscribe to the channel. I am all about helping creatives to get paid, to get more visibility and access in their careers from wherever they may happen to be. And if you know someone who would also get some value out of this, then go ahead and share it with them. Now, the next thing you should do is watch this video right here. The real cure for imposter syndrome, and it's not confidence. Because the fastest way to stop feeling like a fake isn't confidence, it's evidence. And in this video, I show you how to get that. See you there. Bye-bye.